Yes, ma'am. Wesley Wittig, Wesley Wittig, Second Assistant District Attorney.
How are you feeling today after?
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Talk
Finally.
about what happens next for KP George. I know there's been a lot of questions about his role as county judge.
Yes, ma'am. Well, what happens next is there's a sentencing hearing on June 16th. The law says you're removed from office upon conviction, but technically trial is not over until we finish sentencing. A judgment is not entered until that time. So Mr. George can't even appeal his conviction until that time. So when that gets finalized on the 16th, there will be language in the judgment that removes him from office. If he appeals, that will supersede the removal order, at which time we will request the judge to enter an order of suspension, suspending him from office because it's in the public interest.
So right now, he could still act as county judge once he bonds out of jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Wes, talk about how you all felt when that verdict came.
I don't know that I can describe how we felt, how everybody felt. The prosecutors, Mr. Middleton, Mr. Kawaja, the investigators, we have endured so much hate and lies in the media from the defense team. We knew that the truth was in the courtroom, and the truth prevailed.
What was the linchpin? What was the thing that put it over the edge, you think, for the jury? I think they believed the evidence we had. The defense gave it a good try. It's what they're supposed to do. But they stuck true to the evidence they had that very plainly showed he was guilty. They did not find him, they did not acquit him, they did not find him guilty of a lesser included charge. They found him guilty as we indicted him.
He's a top elected official. Do you think that this should send a message to everyone in Fort Bend County about what happened today?
In our polling of the public corruption is the top of people's concerns. The public, not just here, it's nationwide. I think that when you see someone held accountable and politics does not play a part in it, I think that's the message people should understand. There are people out there willing to do their jobs. Politics never mattered in this case, no matter what they said. He was indicted as a Democrat, he was convicted as a Republican. It doesn't matter. Lady Justice is blind for a reason. All we did were prosecutors prosecuting a criminal.
Have you had a chance to talk to District Attorney Middleton at all? Did you get his reaction to the verdict?
Not in person, not yet.
I went to grab my laptop. I heard some cheering from the floor below. Is that related to this, you think, when the team got back to the office?
If I had to guess, yes.
Y'all haven't talked to the jurors either, is that right?
If our prosecutors spoke to the jurors, I'm not sure. They may be doing that even now, but it would just be the prosecution team, the lawyers who prosecuted the case specifically, yes. Yeah.
Y'all feel completely vindicated?
Completely vindicated, absolutely, absolutely. And honestly, for them to get up here and say, well, you know, a jury can do whatever they want to do and totally disregard the evidence that convicted him by 12 members of public, it's laughable.
The sentencing is scheduled for June.
Yes.
Right now, scheduled to go to trial for that misdemeanor charge in May.
Yes.
Do you know at this point, will that be taking place?
I do not know at this point.
Could that be forwarded into the sentencing of the felony?
Not legally, but if it could be taken in consideration in the sentencing and then the misdemeanor, be dismissed, that happens all the time. But we have not talked, we have no plans at this point on any resolution to the misdemeanor.
Wes, I'm not sure, I probably couldn't hear, but did you talk about, I guess, for you or you say vindication, about the public seeing something like this play out and the perception that it gives about public figures and right and wrong?
What we saw from the public is they judged him early, and everyone is innocent till proven guilty in a court of law. So despite the public opinion, our job is to pursue justice in the court of law. And so that's what we did. And so, we're happy to validate the public opinion, but justice isn't necessarily driven by the public opinion.
Do you think that last question juror asked was nail in the coffin for them to decide?
That's a good question. We consider that a good question. Yeah, when you're trying to figure out the amounts. Yeah.
What did you think of Mr. George? He didn't say anything. I didn't see any reaction.
Yeah.
what did you think of how he handled himself in this case and the way that they all painted you all, and then versus the result that we got today?
The way he handled himself is we often see defendants handling themselves that way. The defense can coach them also. So I don't really have any judgment, on him and how he reacted. How they treated us, what's been alleged and said about the DA, which was completely false, was beyond ethical. It was unethical, and it was terrible that we had to endure that just for doing our jobs. The DA Middleton had the bravery to hold another elected official accountable, and all that mudslinging is what he suffered for it.
So on Thursday, he can appear on Chris's court and preside over it, is that right?
Yes.
What's next for you guys?
June 16th, sentencing.
But do you know what you're going to be asking for yet in
No.
terms of sentencing?
No.
They said possibility of parole that is what they want. I thought it was 2 to 10 years.
Okay, so he's eligible for probation.
Probation, okay.
So he could get a prison sentence or probation.
What's the stance of the DA's office of giving him probation versus jail time, and why do you think it's important that he gets time behind bars versus probation?
We haven't discussed the sentencing phase this yet, so I don't have an opinion. I'm sorry at this point.
They did file for community supervision last night, is that right? Think about that.
I don't know if they did, or when they did, but yes, that's a legal maneuver. You have to request it.
And that's what probation is that right?
Yes, community supervision is probation. Same thing. Yeah. Anything else?
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being so attentive and being here. Not you, Channel 2, but you, 13.